Hi guys, it's Fentony back with another Fantastic Beasts video, and today we've got an interview from Jude Law that reveals more about Dumbledore and what he teaches at Hogwarts. So recently there has been a lot of confusion about exactly what Dumbledore teaches at Hogwarts. He was the Transfiguration teacher before he became the headmaster, but this film is set in 1927, and he joined the school some point in the 1910s, and we thought it was Transfiguration that he taught when he started, but it turns out it's not. Jude Law tells Entertainment Weekly that it's not Transfiguration that he teaches during 1927 in The Crimes of Grindelwald. He doesn't say what he teaches, but from the photo of Newt Scamander and Dumbledore at school, and the footage of them basing a boggart that we've heard about, I think it's safe to say that Albus Dumbledore in 1927 in The Crimes of Grindelwald is the defence against the Dark Arts teacher. This has kind of caused some controversy, as some fans believe this is changing the canon story. It was never said that Dumbledore was always Transfiguration teacher. It only said he was the Professor of Transfiguration before he became headmaster. Remember guys, Dumbledore doesn't become headmaster until some point in the 60s or early 70s. We're only in 1927. I do believe at some point Dumbledore will be offered the position of Minister for Magic several times, but he turns it down. It seems like in The Crimes of Grindelwald, the Ministry doesn't trust him, so a lot's got to change till we get to that point. So I think it's pretty much confirmed that Dumbledore is a defence against the Dark Arts teacher. We don't know if it's his first job at Hogwarts, and when he changes to Transfiguration, or why he changes, but in The Crimes of Grindelwald, he is a defence against the Dark Arts teacher. And there is a flashback, or some sort of scene anyway, where he teaches young Newt Scamander and other students how to face boggarts. Remember, Tom Riddle does jinx the position of Defence Against the Dark Arts after Dumbledore rejected his application, but that's not till many years down the line. And Tom Riddle's jinx is the reason, anyway, that these teachers don't last more than a year as Defence Against the Dark Arts teacher. We've also got some other information. Jude Law says that he knows about Potter as his kids grew up with it, and he has sat down with J.K. Rowling and she's told him the entire story about Dumbledore. Jude Law also says he's not copying previous portrayals from Michael Gambon and Richard Harris. He says that Dumbledore is much younger and a different man. He also reveals that Dumbledore only casts one spell in the film, and he doesn't have the Elder Wand yet. Remember guys, he doesn't get the Elder Wand till 1945, when he beats Grindelwald. He also says that Dumbledore admires Newt's sense of moral code to do what's right, and he does compare himself to a beast. He said that Newt finds beasts very beautiful, and he thinks that Dumbledore feels himself as a beast. Dumbledore is a very private man, and perhaps he might be an outsider. Perhaps he feels like a beast because he's an outsider, and because of how powerful he is and how amazing he's meant to be, he might feel that people fear him. He describes his relationship with Newt as Master Mantee, but he does say that Newt's not afraid to tell Dumbledore that he's wrong. I can't wait for the Dumbledore and Newt scenes. I think Newt's gonna stand up to Dumbledore and tell him a lot of stuff that some people might be afraid of saying. He also confirms that Dumbledore is gay and the story will unfold. Remember, there was a big controversy that director David Yates did say that Dumbledore's sexuality is not going to be explicitly said or shown anyway in The Crimes of Grindelwald. Remember, Dumbledore is a very private man, and Jude Law does remind us that sexuality does not define a person. He also confirms he doesn't share any scenes of Grindelwald. There will be flashbacks of Grindelwald and Dumbledore, but we're not going to have any Jude Law and Johnny Depp scenes. Not right now anyway. Remember guys, there are 5 films in this series, so there's plenty of time. They will fight in 1945, which will result in Dumbledore gaining the Elder Wand and Grindelwald's downfall, but we're several years to go before we get to that. We're only in 1927, and only in the second film out of 5. So I think this interview by Jude Law was great. It cleared a lot of stuff up, and it gave us a good insight into the character. Personally, I feel that Jude Law has a lot of weight on his shoulders. If he doesn't deliver as Dumbledore, then this series will fall. Dumbledore's been promoted heavily, and even though I think he's only going to have quite short screen time in the second film, maybe only 20-30 minutes most, I think he's going to play a massive role. Even when he's off screen, he's going to have a massive presence. I'm very confident in Jude Law, and I can't wait to see his Dumbledore. So here's some questions for you guys. What are your thoughts on anything that's been said in this interview about Dumbledore being Defence Against the Dark Arts teacher and not Transfiguration teacher? I've gained a lot of new subs recently, so I'd just like to say a massive thank you and welcome to the channel. Most of these new subs have came from the Fantastic Beasts videos that I've done just a few days ago, especially the one about young Newt Scamander. Just so you guys know, there's going to be a lot of Fantastic Beasts videos from now until the film comes out in November. So as always guys, make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you are new to the channel and you love Harry Potter and you love Fantastic Beasts, make sure you subscribe and then ring the little bell, because that'll turn the notifications on, which means you'll get emailed and get notifications about every time I upload a video. Not every subscriber gets every video sent out to them. That's a bit silly in my opinion, as you subscribe to people's channels to get videos, but that's just how YouTube works sometimes. So make sure you turn the notifications on. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.